जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय राधे श्याम जय निताई गौरचंद्र जय निताई गौरचंद्र जय निताई गौरचंद्र जय निताई गौरचंद्र जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय श्रील गुरुदेव ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। थैंक यू। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयत्मुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। So there are 3 verses today, and the third verse had a purport. श्री सो कैसा करना है, रिसाइट कौन सा करना था, कोई भी करो. श्री प्रबुद्ध उवाच कर्माण्यभारमानानां दुःखहैते सुखाय च पश्येत्पाकविपर्यासं मिथुने चारिणं नृणाम् नित्यार्दिदेन वित्तेन दुर्लभेनात्ममृत्युना ग्रहापत्याप्तपशुभिः का प्रीति सदितश्चलय एवं लोकं परं विज्ञान नश्वरं कर्म निर्मितं सतुल्यातिशयध्वंसं यथा मंडलवर्तिनां. Devotees can choose which shlok they want to recite. Everything is welcome. Sri Prabhupada Uvacha Okay. We'll read the translation for the 2 verses and then we'll read the synonyms of the 3rd verse. Sri Prabhupada said, accepting the roles of male and female in human society, the conditioned soul unite in sexual relationships. Thus they constantly make material endeavors to eliminate their unhappiness and unlimitedly increase their pleasure. But one should see that they inevitably achieve exactly the opposite result. In other words, their happiness inevitably vanishes as they grow older. Their material discomfort increases. Purport by His Divine Grace S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Without the mercy of a pure devotee, it is exceedingly difficult to free oneself from the bodily concept of life, which is the illusory basis of sexual attraction. Verse number 19. Wealth is a perpetual source of distress. It is most difficult to acquire and it is virtual death for the soul. What satisfaction does one actually gain from his wealth? Similarly, how can one gain ultimate or permanent happiness from one's so-called home, children, relatives and domestic animals, which are all maintained by one's hard-earned money? I'll request devotees to repeat after me the synonyms of the 3rd verse. Evam, in this way. Lokam, the world. Param, next. After this life. Vidyat, one should understand as. Nashwaram, impermanent. Karma nirmitam, created from fruity work. Satulya, characterized by the rivalry of equals. Atishya, and superiors. Dvamsam, and by renunciation. Yatha, as. Mandala Vartinam, the rivalries of minor rulers. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ji Maharaj ki jai. Oh yeah. Thank you, Dharmadva Prabhu. One cannot find permanent happiness even on the heavenly planets, which one can attain in the next life by ritualistic ceremonies and sacrifices. Even in material heaven, the living entity is disturbed by the rivalry with his equals and envy for those superior to him. And since one's residence in heaven is finished with the exhaustion of pious spiritual activities, the denizens of the heaven are afflicted by fear, anticipating the destruction of their heavenly life. Thus, they resemble kings who, though enviously admired by ordinary citizens, are constantly harassed by the enemy kings and who therefore never attain actual happiness. Purport is huge actually. Long purport. Should I read the whole? Okay. Srila Sridhar Swami has quoted the following text from the Chandogya Upanishad. Tad etaha karma chitto laksha kshiyate evam mutra punya chitto loka shiyate. One's present status of the material pleasure, the result of one's previous work, will eventually be vanquished by time. Similarly, although by executing pious activities one will be elevated to a higher status in the next life, that future situation will also be vanquished. The basic of material enjoyment is the particular body one has acquired. The material body is karma chitta, the accumulated results of one previous material activities. If one is awarded a body decorated with beauty, education, popularity, strength and so on, his standard of material enjoyment is certainly high class. On the other hand, if one is ugly, mentally retarded, crippled or repulsive to others, there is a very little hope for his material happiness. In both cases, however, the situation is flickering and temporary. One who has acquired an attractive body should not rejoice, since death will quickly bring an end to such an intoxicating situation. Similarly, one who has taken birth in an obnoxious situation should not lament, since his suffering is also temporary. The beautiful man and the ugly man, the rich and the poor, the educated and the foolish should all endeavor to become Krishna conscious, so that they can be elevated to their eternal constitutional situation, which is to reside in the planets beyond this material universe. Originally, every living entity is unimaginably beautiful, intelligent, wealthy and so strong that his spiritual body lives forever. But we foolishly give up this eternal blissful situation because we are unwilling to meet the condition of eternal life. The condition is that one should be a lover of Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. All the love of Krishna is the most exquisite ecstasy, surpassing by millions of times the most intense pleasure of the material universe. We foolishly break off our loving affair with the Supreme Lord and artificially try to become independent enjoyers in the material atmosphere of self-delusion and false pride. Even if one reaches the exalted heavenly planets of the universe, he will be afflicted by various types of sufferings. Every conditioned soul in the material world wants to become the greatest person. Therefore, one is constantly harassed by his equals who have similar desire. This situation is commonly termed as a rat race of the material existence. Even on the heavenly planets, there is a similar rat race for heavenly distinction. Since some persons inevitably excel our own achievements, our hearts burn with envy upon seeing others enjoying the very rewards we have strived for. And because our whole situation is temporary, we must undergo fear, anxiety, and death even on the heavenly planet. The example given here is very nice. Minor kings may be enviously admired by ordinary citizens for their wealth, power, and fame. But such kings themselves constantly burn with jealousy, resentment, and fear due to rivalry and threats from other kings. Similarly, modern politicians are constantly harassed by envy and fear. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has pointed out that the conditioned soul, being eager to acquire material happiness and avoid distress, take shelter of sexual relationships and thus surrender to the hard labor of fruitive activities. Those who are enlightened, however, can pursue the ultimate futility of such gross materialistic endeavors. One's so-called wife, home, children, relatives, bank account, and so on are all temporary phantasmagoria. And even while manifest, they can never give real satisfaction to one's senses. To acquire wealth in this world, one is practically forced to become the killer of his soul. There is no possibility of acquiring pleasure from materialistic activity, since they are performed with temporary senses in the hard pursuit of temporary sense object. When the conditioned soul achieves his goal, he becomes proud and brags to others as if his achievements were permanent. And when defeated, he is submerged in the lamentation. Such a tendency to consider oneself the doer is a sign of weak intelligence, since in fact the living entity is merely desiring within the material body. The body itself is moved by the forces of material nature and under the control of God. The relationships of master and servant, father and son, husband and wife entail exchanges of well-wishing and service that give a sense of material gratification, but such ephemeral devotion can never bring about the eternal absolute benefit of the soul. By such temporary gratification, Maya induces the conditioned soul to wander throughout the material world, pursuing the relative rewards of the material nature. According to certain laws of karma, the living entity achieves happiness and distress. One cannot obtain happiness by force, no matter how strenuously how long one tries. Therefore, those whose intelligence is uncontaminated should surrender at the lotus feet of Krishna and give up the nutritious pursuit of the permanent material happiness, a pursuit which can be compared to a dog's chasing its tail. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dharmatma Prabhu, for giving the opportunity to serve. Janmadiyasya yatanvayaditaratascharteshvabhignaswarat tene brahmardhayadikavaye muyanti yat suraya tejo varimradam yatha vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha dhamna svena sada nirastakuhakam satyam param dhimahi dharma projita kaitavatra paramo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastamatra vastu shivadam tapotrayan mulanam Srimata Bhagavate Mahamuni Krute Kim va Paririshvara Sadyo Radi Avruddhi Atra Krutibhi Sushrushabhistakshanat Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam Shukamukhadam Brutadram Vasanyutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuravo Rasika Bhuvi Bhavuka Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadhi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Once Naradji arrived in Dwarka, and when Naradji arrived, Vasudev worshipped Naradji with proper etiquette. He greeted him respectfully. Actually, Vasudevji worshipped him like one worshipped Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he requested Narad Muni that he wishes to hear about pure devotional service. Why? Because it frees one from all kinds of fear. Naradji also, in turn, he praised Vasudev. Why? Because Vasudev's intelligence is also very fixed in the Supreme Personality of God. He is the father of Krishna. So his mind is 24 hours in Krishna. Now Naradji, he related the ancient history of one conversation. The conversation is between Nava Yogendras. We have Nava Yogendra Swami Maharaj. So there is 9 Yogendras. So 9 Yogendras, these were the sons of Rishabdev. So there is a conversation in the 11th canto, which is between Nava Yogendras and Nimi Maharaj. So that is the conversation which Narad Muni is relating. Swayambha Manu had a son called as Priyavrat Maharaj. Right? And Priyavrat Maharaj's son was Agnidra. Agnidra's son was Rishabdev, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Rishabdev had 100 sons. And one of the sons was Maharaj Bharat, in whose name this Varsha is called as Bharata Varsha. Previously, this Varsha was called as Ajnab Varsha. But because of the popularity of Maharaj Bharat, it became to be called as Bharat Varsha. Rishabdev had 9 other sons. And these 9 sons were very famous, and they were known as Nava Yogendras. Who were they? Kavi, Havir, Antariksha, Prabuddha. We are listening from Prabuddha, these 3 shlokas. Pipalayana, Avirhotra, Drumila, Chamasa and Karabhajana. So these are the Nava Yogendras. And these 9 Yogendras were very well versed with the science of Krishna consciousness. They were fixed in the knowledge, their goal was fixed, their life was fixed in Krishna consciousness. The 9 other sons of Rishabdev, they they became Kshatriyas, and other 81 sons became Brahmanas, right? So you can see one father, and he has some sons taking responsibilities as Kshatriyas, some sons that took shelter of the Brahmanical culture, and there were 9 sons who were pure devotees, Mahabhagavatas, these Navayogendras. And there was one son who was Bharat, who was a very special personality. Now this 9 Yogendras, these Navayogendras, there is no impediment to them. Just like Naradji can travel across the globe, so similarly these Navayogendras also can travel across the globe without any impediment. They have all the international visas with them. So who were they? They were the direct associates of the Supreme Lord. They were the acharyas of Bhagavad Dharma. And they wandered freely. What was their business? To broadcast the glories of Krishna's name, fame and pastimes. They were the ambassadors of Bhagavad Dharma. Now, the association of such great saintly persons is very, very rare, who are dedicated to the cause of Supreme Personality of Godhead all the time. Very, very rare. And Nimi Maharaj, he got fortune to get association of Navayogendras. So he was very, very delighted. Just like Prithu Maharaj, he got association of 4 Kumaras. 4 Kumaras came to Prithu Maharaj. So Prithu Maharaj worshipped them like one worships Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here Nimi Maharaj, when King Nimi, when he saw Navayogendras, he gave them a respectable seat, he worshipped them, and he sat down underneath their lotus feet, and he humbly requested them, he inquired about Bhagavad Dharma. What is Bhagavad Dharma? Bhagavad Dharma is pure devotional service. Now, there are various terminologies by which Bhagavad Dharma is often referred, and we also understand that. For example, Sanatan Dharma. If someone asks, what is Sanatan Dharma? Then exact definition, what is it? That occupation, Sanatan means eternal, Dharma means occupation. So that occupation of the living entity, which cannot be separated from him at any given point of time, that is Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma, Bhagavad Dharma, Jaiva Dharma, Bhakti Dharma, Bhagavad Seva Dharma, Vaishnava Dharma, these all are one. Sanatan Dharma is Bhagavad Dharma, Bhagavad Dharma is Jaiva Dharma, Jaiva Dharma is Sanatan Dharma, it is all one. Outside world, people don't understand the meaning of Sanatan Dharma. They claim themselves as Sanatanis, but they fail to understand the definition. So actual definition is, we will discuss today. To serve Krishna, to serve his devotees, it is proper religious system. It is a proper religious principle. What is Bhagavad Dharma in simple words? To serve Krishna and his dear devotees. That is Bhagavad Dharma. Everything else other than that is Naimittika dharma, temporary dharma. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a whole book explaining this one subject matter. Now Bhagavad Dharma, it has no contradictions. There are so many dharmas are there are so many cults are there are so many religions are there in the world. Right? But Bhagavad Dharma has no such contradictions. Conceptions of your religion, conceptions of my religion are completely absent from Bhagavad Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma, Sanatana Dharma is for everyone. But people don't understand this. Bhagavad Dharma means following the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is that? Sarva dharman parittajya mamekam sharanam braja. So, following the orders of Bhagavan is called Bhagavad Dharma, in simple terms. God is one and God is for everyone. Therefore, everyone must surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the pure conception of religion. And whatever God constitutes, that is religion. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. In sixth canto, the definition is given. Yamadutas, they give this definition. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. In Bhagavad Dharma, there is no question of what you believe and what I believe. Try to understand Bhagavad Dharma's beauty. What you believe and what I believe that is not important here. Everyone should believe in the Supreme Personality of Godhead and carry out His orders. That is Bhagavad Dharma. In this chapter, Nimi Maharaj, he asks about the Lord's illusory energy. And before this verse of Prabuddha speaking, Sri Antariksha, one of the Neo-Yogindras, he replied that the Supreme Lord, He creates the material world and He also enters into every living into every living being as super soul. He is there in the body with Him. And then when we misidentify with the material body, when the soul misidentifies with the material body, the conditioned soul becomes entangled and he repeatedly goes on with the transmigration of birth, death, happiness and distress. This is what Antariksha is saying. At that time, he also explains that the Lord withdraws the whole cosmic manifestation. When the time of annihilation comes, the Supreme Lord, He withdraws the annihilation, okay, and all the material elements dissolve back in their original subtle state. And now in this verse, in today's discussion, there is discussion about search for happiness. A conditioned soul, we are here in this world looking for happiness. All of us. In every relationship, in every service we do, everything we do, there is one search. That search is for happiness. Now, some think that by becoming married, one may become happy. So they get married, they look for happiness. They accept the role of male and female in the human society, and then they get into sexual relationships. And they try to constantly make material efforts, material endeavor to get some happiness. But they try their best to get some pleasures. But what ultimately happens is that there is unhappiness and there is unlimited increase in the pressure. A person is very happy. Someone asked a sadhu, why did not you get married? He was 83 years old. He said, because I cannot control my mind. That's why I decided I should not get married. I said, why? He said, because I cannot control my mind. How will I control the mind of my wife? And I cannot control my mind, she cannot control her mind. Both will try to control their mind and then the children's mind. I cannot control my mind, she cannot control her mind. Then we may have children and then we both will try to control the children's mind. So that's why I decided that because I cannot get married, because I cannot control my mind, I decided I will not get married. He is Fakir Mohan Prabhu, a very great scholarly Gaudiya Vaishnava, who departed. So, then there is an effort being made to earn wealth. A huge amount of endeavor has to be there. Till the time someone is single, he can stay anywhere. Anywhere, there is no problem for him. Sada Sukhi. You are in the Sada Sukhi episodes. As soon as one thinks that he has to get married now, what happens? Immediately he has to think of a house. And if he doesn't have money, then rented house. He has to rent a house. Then these days, without vehicle, it doesn't happen. So we need a car. So then effort is in 9th canto. There is a conversation between Yayati Maharaj and his good wife Devyani, and there he describes about a story of a he goat and a she goat. So there, Yayati Maharaj describes that there was a she goat in the well, and the he goat comes there. He goat sees the she goat, and he gets attracted. They both get attracted to each other. But then he goat is thinking, now what should I do? The she goat is in the well. What should I do? So he goat with his thorns, he starts digging that well. Imagine a goat to pull out a she goat from the well. It starts digging around the well and tries to make a road so that the she goat can comfortably come out, and they both can get married. Now till the time the he goat is all alone, there is no problem, right? But as soon as the he goat thinks, I have to get married, so that goat's effort of digging the well is called the effort of looking for a house, looking for wealth, looking for car, and for satisfying that desires of the spouse. This he goat bichara, what he has to do so much efforts he has to take. He was very happy chanting Hare Krishna, studying Bhagavatam, attending Mangal Arati, attending all the Kirtanas, very happy traveling here and there, very nice. Now he is married. And all kinds of tensions are in him. He is always in anxiety. And same anxiety is with the wife, she got also. That my husband shall not like someone else. It is not that the she goat is not in anxiety. What happens in the Yayati Maharaj episode? That the she goat gets disturbed with the he goat. Because the she goat came to know that some another she goat is also liking my he goat. Abhi material world, people look at each other, they like each other. But the she goat is saying, no, he is my property. Why should you like my he-goat? My he-goat, I will only like. You she-goat, you go and find someone else. So that is always going on in the household life. Yes. Now, Prabuddha is saying that in these efforts of gaining wealth, gaining house, this and that, there is lot of envy. Don't think that husband and wife relationship there is no envy, Baba. They are also envious of each other. Some to minor extent, some to greater extent, some to greatest extent. Outside world the envy is more. If the husband is a minister, then the wife wants to become, at least she wants to become some position she should get. So that is going on. Then Prabhudaji says, Baba, someone might think that in the heavenly planets everybody is happy. Nobody is happy there also. There is no such difference. We might think by going to America, by going to Europe, oh, life is such nice. Everything is very beautiful. Everything is very gorgeous. Roads are so nice. And look in India. And look there. The world is so different. Might be there that there is happiness there. People want to go there in America. People want to go in Europe. And they think that that is luxury, deluxe life. But when they go there, they understand they have to end up in petrol pump, filling the petrol, or do some laborious work. If you are not qualified, if you struggle, that struggle of existence here and there is the same. That is also part of the material world. There are more struggles, there are more taxes. People who are coming from outside, those who are not gone to the Western world, but their devotees coming from the Western world, they know it's the same thing. There is no difference. Similarly, going to the heavenly planets, one may think, oh, there is some happiness there, but there is also no happiness. There is huge amount of envy there also. So now the point is, what is envy? Let us understand this and let us try to get some solution from Bhagavatam. Now, simple definition of envy. We can check our hearts. To become happy on seeing others' distress. To become happy on seeing others' distress and to become distressed on seeing others' happiness is called envy by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhagavatam says about dharma. If you see the happiness of others and you experience happiness, and if you see the unhappiness of others, you experience unhappiness, that means you are on the path of dharma. That means everything is alright with you. But if this is not, if this is our situation, that we become happy on seeing the others distressed, and we become distressed on seeing others' happiness, this is defined as envy. That means we come under that category. Now, envy is the leader of everyone. I mean, of all the problems. Lust, greed, anger, illusion, pride, everything is there in the envy. I'll explain you. Lust is included in anger. Okay? Lust and anger are included in pride, in greed. Lust, anger and greed are included in illusion. Lust, anger, greed and illusion are included in pride. And lust, greed, anger, illusion and pride are all included in envy. So envy is the leader of all the enemies we have. Now, if someone is envious, so non-enviousness is living entity's liberation. If someone is non-envious, he is a liberated soul. This is the definition. And enviousness is the living entity's bondage. Now, these all definitions are good, but there is something very, very important. How should, how is this envy becoming our obstacle in our spiritual life? One might think, what is happening? Hai, envy to hai. We have this attitude sometimes, I have envy, what is the problem? But this envy, having envy in the heart, being envious of others, is the biggest problem. Our Krishna consciousness is completely stopped. How? Whatever I am saying is coming from the writings of our acharyas. I am not saying anything. When we are encountering with someone who is having higher qualities than us, we become envious. When we find someone who is inferior to us but has potential to grow, and there is a danger that our position might shake, then what do? We become envious there also. When there is a possibility of becoming good friends with Vaishnavas, but instead of friendship, we try to pose ourselves as superior, and we boost ourselves. So Narad Muni is giving us advice. How should our dealings be in a Vaishnava society? Narad Muni is giving 4.8.34. He is saying, Gunadhikan mudam lipsed anukroshan gunadhamat maitrim samanat anvishchena na tapar abhibhuyate. Narad is saying every man should act like this. Man means woman also. When he meets someone who is more qualified than himself, what should one do? One should joyfully accept him in his life, understanding he has the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Because whatever abilities a person has in someone's life, that ability is, who is that ability? Krishna. Krishna is the ability in man. So if someone has good qualities, someone is a Sanskrit Pandit, so other scholars they get disturbed. But if someone says, oh, that person is been graced by the Supreme Lord, then that problem is solved. So Narad Muni is saying, when someone meets a superior person, then what should one do? One should joyfully accept him. And then when he meets someone who is less qualified, what should one do with him? Then try to bring him onto the standard at least where you are in. We should try to inspire him. Not to suppress him, compress him, depress him, finish him. No. Ulta. We should bring him to the platform where, at least where we are in. Then there is third thing is, when we get an opportunity to make friendship with people, then one should don't miss this opportunity, because everybody needs friends. If there is someone who can become a nice friend, become friends with him. This is what Narad Muni is advising. Now, how is this dealing affecting our Krishna conscious life? You want to understand? Vyasadeva explains something in the second verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. He says, Dharma projita kaitavatra paramo nirmatsaranam satam Vedyam vastamatra vastu shivadam tapotrayan moolanam. Vedavyasji in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam it is saying, this Srimad Bhagavatam is for non-envious people. If we are envious, Bhagavad Dharma Tattva will never be revealed to us. Srimad Bhagavatam will never be revealed to us. Divya Gyan Hridaya Prakashita, if we are singing every day, but we don't understand that we should be Nirmatsar, then Bhagavad Dharma Tattva will never be revealed to us. Transcendental knowledge will never be revealed to us. We will always remain confused. We will always remain bewildered about everything. The root cause of all this problem is envy and how we deal with everyone. These three ways of dealing with Narad Muni is explained. Narad Muni says, if one learns to deal in this way, he will be free from envy and he will experience unlimited happiness in his heart. Unlimited happiness. So, who can understand Bhagavad Dharma Tattva? One who is non-envious. Very important for us to know. What is Bhagavad Dharma? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. We will not be able to understand this, neither will we be able to perform devotional service. We may be performing, chanting and doing everything superficially, but because of in our heart we have this king of all the enemies, envy, with us, our everything is blocked. We are blocking our own progress in our spiritual life. We are blocking our own advancement. And nobody is going to tell you, because this is self-reflection that we need to understand. We may be reading Srimad Bhagavatam for years and years, but we are not able to understand anything. Why? We may be studying Bhagavatam for years and years and years and years and years. Nothing is understood because we are not understanding the root of this problem. See the difference. Try to implement this instructions given by Narad Muni and try to see the difference it brings to your life. So what is Srimad Bhagavatam? Very important point. What is Srimad Bhagavatam? Krishna Tulya Bhagavata Vibhu Sarvasraya Prati Shloke Prati Akshare Nana Arthakaya. What is Srimad Bhagavatam? Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna himself, Baba. The characteristics of Krishna and the characteristics of Srimad Bhagavatam are non-different from each other. Srimad Bhagavatam is as great as Krishna. Just like Supreme Lord is the shelter of everything, Srimad Bhagavatam also is the shelter of everything. In each and every verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, in each and every letters of Srimad Bhagavatam, one can derive lots of meanings. And then it is also said that Premamaya Bhagavata Sri Krishna Ranga Tahate Kahena Yatha Gopya Krishna Ranga. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the body of Krishna. What is Srimad Bhagavatam? Body of Krishna. And all the confidential sweet pastimes are described here. The benefit what the devotees got when they came in direct contact with Krishna, that same benefit can be derived by us when we come in contact with Srimad Bhagavatam. In Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.40, Prabhupada ji writes in the purport, the benefit what the devotees or demons got by directly coming in contact with Krishna, that same benefits we can get by taking shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. There are three ways to serve Srimad Bhagavatam: hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, studying Srimad Bhagavatam, and speaking the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. So it's a very simple way. And what is the message of Srimad Bhagavatam? We are conditioned souls. We cannot do Bhagavad Bhajan. Can we? Bhagavatam is saying, don't worry for that. just hear me. Just hear me. Vyasdev is saying, what is he saying? Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krute Kimva Paririshwaraha Sadyo Hridaya Avrudyatra Krutibi Shushush Bhistakshanat. What is saying? Just by mere desire to, if someone has a mere desire to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, mere desire is there. By the culture of that knowledge, Lord Krishna is willing to get bound up by the devotee. One might say, Acha, how much time will Krishna get bound up in my heart? Takshanat. What is Vyasdev saying? Immediately. So that is the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you so much. If there are any questions, we can take. Thank you so much.
I think envy is the one thing that we cannot engage in Krishna's service, right? Other things
has
like
to get rid of it.
Other things like anger,
Yes.
lust,
Yes,
and
yes,
those things can be engaged. But
Yes.
envy.
He is very knowledgeable.
I was just talking to him.
He gives nice classes. Once I was with Dharmatma Prabhu in Bangladesh, we went together and I heard Prabhuji's class. He gives nice classes. He should give more and more classes. Any questions? Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thanks a lot for a very wonderful class. Prabhu, I am unable to understand this in the translation that wealth is a virtual death for the soul. So, how can that wealth be? Yes,
Try to understand. I'll explain with an example. When Nahush Maharaj Nahush Maharaj had 6 sons. First was Yati. Okay. And when Nahush Maharaj was cursed, right? So naturally the kingdom came to Yati. Yati refused to accept the kingdom. Why? Yati was saying that I don't want to be going behind this position, post, position, wealth and everything. I just want to have a simple life. So why? Because if I make an endeavor for that, I may lose the goal of my life. I may lose the opportunity of life to perfect my existence. So that's why when there are people who are over-endeavoring for wealth, they may lose an opportunity to be Krishna conscious. Because when the whole of the time is gone there, behind wealth, behind post, behind positions.
Yeah, but parallelly it is said that the wealth, if it's used in Krishna consciousness and dovetail to Krishna consciousness, it's very nice. Like
yes. So devotees we are talking about people, ordinary people.
Okay.
Okay. Devotees who are matured enough to understand that.
Okay. That's fine. Okay.
That is understood.
Thank you.
This has been talked in general. Mataji has a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I understand that the main point of the class is regarding envy, how that can prevent us from understanding Krishna, and Srimad Bhagavatam is also Krishna. So, could you be so kind and explain that how envy can distort one's intelligence and also one's perception, and what could be ways in which envy is there in our life, but we don't even recognize it. The cliche ones are easy, but the non.
So, envy makes us think that we are great. When we are envious of others, we think, I am great. Other says, no, you are not great, I am great. So, in this way, in this material world, the two people are envious of each other. The two states are envious of each other. Countries are envious of each other, and the communities are envious of each other. They fight.
But devotees also.
Yes.
Devotees also.
That is understood. Devotees also.
So that's what I want to know.
So, practical level, when Mataji is saying practicality, so practicality is there. I have some, I cannot speak openly.
Please do, Prabhu.
So try to understand that these three dealings of ours, basically main core thing of envy is our dealings with others, right? So these three secrets of life we need to understand. How we deal with others is how we handle our envy. We all need to handle our envy. Like there is somebody who is very superior and you know very nicely he is better than me. All of us are individuals and all of us has some abilities given by Krishna. All of us are different from each other. So, if someone has superior quality than us in some aspect, why don't we accept it? That solves the problem. The first problem. Second problem is, when we see someone who needs help, whose devotee is there, he is in difficulty, but we don't go and help, and we allow that person to suffer. We could have helped that person to rescued him, but that doesn't happen. Why? Because of envy. So if someone is in need, if someone is inferior to you, somebody is genuinely looking for help and you can help, one should go and help him. Gajendra, when Gajendra was calling for the Lord, at that time the Devatas, this is the commentaries, the Devatas were there, they were watching and observing Gajendra. They were laughing at Gajendra. They were saying, what a fool he is. If he could have called us, we could have just come and rescued. But what is Gajendra doing? Gajendra is calling the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he thinks the Lord Hari is going to come. And they were laughing, and just at that time, the Lord entered the arena in the sky on Garuda. And they were shocked. And Gajendra offered the flower, and the Lord delivered Gajendra. And then the Lord chastised the Devatas, that when you see my devotee, he is suffering, what is wrong with you? Go and help him. Go and help him. Why were you not helping him? So we have to do the same. We need to understand this principle. The Supreme Lord wants us, Vaishnavas, to be representing him. The Lord has a nature. That same nature he expects the devotees also to have. To going and helping someone. But what happens when we see somebody is in trouble? We say, wow, finally. In 15 years back, this devotee, he said something to me. And now look, how he is suffering. He should suffer more and more. Good Krishna, continue. This is our situation. Then third thing is, how shall we deal our equals? When we know that there are two equals, same age, you have joined same time, and he has grown very nicely. The other friend has matured very nicely. And there is their option with you. You can still be friends with him because he wants your friendship. But no. Hey, what are you? I know you, Baba. You know you did this. I know what are you sitting on Vyasas and giving big talks? I know you very well. In and out of your. So, how we deal these three situations, that is very important.
So that's what I wanted to hear. So that's what, it would be nice if you could share then how do we rise above this? Because you said in the beginning, when we see good qualities in a devotee, and we could actually engage them in service, and that will help the movement so much more. But we try to suppress them because we want to be we want to be there instead of them.
How I handle this, every day I make sure I pray every day. I pray to the Lord that, my dear Lord, I have this big problem in my heart and I cannot handle it. You please help me. And I pray to the Lord every day. That is the way we have to pray to the Lord every day, because this is the big problem. This is obstructing our spiritual life. It is disturbing society, everything. So we have to pray to the Lord, my dear Lord, please completely remove this tendency within my heart to offend the lotus feet of sadhus, gurus, Vaishnavas. Confirm.
So the desire needs to be there of wanting to get rid of that tendency.
And that desire has to be there, and then Krishna is the Rishikesha, he is the master of all our senses, our mind and everything. If we cannot do something, then ask the Lord. So we have to surrender to the Lord. My dear Lord, I surrender to you. Please take charge of my life and get rid of this envious problem.
Yes.
And every day when we are sincerely praying, it will go away. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Samaved Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki. Thank you so much, Dharmadna Prabhu, once again. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, pass the mic to that devotee.